every multiplicity archetype of the singularity, that which is, has got 50% of the non-physical and 50% of the physical. The 50% of the physical is the avatar, is the body that houses the non-physical, just like human beings. You are a physical human when I see you with my 5 senses. But let's say, for instance, we were not existing as human beings. We were existing as minds, only as minds, interacting as minds in this halos. We probably wouldn't be able to communicate with each other in language. We wouldn't use language to communicate. We wouldn't really see each other with eyes and hear each other with ears. We wouldn't. We probably would have a way of communicating. And what is that way is the question. The way of communicating, if we're not human beings, is vibration. We would communicate through vibration. We will send waves in between each other so we can communicate, and those waves are the way in which we would communicate, and which many animals do that right now, today. Many animals do that. A bat uses a Doppler effect every day of its life, A bat does not see, it actually sends a wave, it's called Doppler effect. It sends a wave in front of where it's going, and the waves comes back with feedback to tell it the frequency, it tells it the distance of where it's going. Now, it's communicating with that particular physical body, that which is moving towards. And it was found that it's not only throwing this particular frequency towards the physical body that is moving towards. In fact, it becomes a circular wave. It's a circular wave, so it sends these waves around itself all together, even at the back, far at the back. Now, it can tell you that if we could speak with, if we could communicate with vibrations, if we did not have language, while we've got 50% of ourselves, half of ourselves, or our other selves, which is, well, the fifth century guys would call it spiritual, our spiritual selves, because there's this thing that's popular, that was popular from the 15th century, that there's a spiritual self. We are spiritual, and there's a spiritual self, and there's, hey, forget about that. We are minds. We are minds. We exist in the thought realm. Now, I've developed a system that we can use to be able to align our individual minds, which is our individual reality as individual people, as individual human beings, with the collective mind, which is the halos of our the collective mind is the domain of life, that which says that everything is connected to everything, and our minds are all one mind and are all connected in the mental domain, in the mind domain. We are not connected in the physical world, but it's a little bit tricky to understand how do we become all one mind, yet we are also singular minds. We are one individual minds as people. Well, not only that, but we are also one mind in the astra. So we have the astral mind, the collective mind, and the individual minds. The individual mind form a reality for ourselves as individuals. And that's when we start to see things that we see around us. What is the point of this? Because I dragged so long. We need to start to think instead of using emotions to react to the physical. Emotions are for the physical world. Thought is in the mental realm, is in the mental domain, and thought, only thought, is what exists. Is what exists. Thought exists in the zero domain because zero is nothing. So nothing exists. And as soon as we have the perspective of how we can see that there is nothing literally that exists on the planet and in the entire solar system, in the universe, there's literally nothing that exists. It's all a dream, a shared dream. We would understand that in our mental capacity, since our mind altogether are entangled with each other in creating this secular dream, we are able to exchange thoughts, and we are able to influence each other with the ripple effects of our energy emission, that which individual people emit we are able to influence one person, influence the other, one person influence, and ultimately that's how cultures are created, and that's how groups of people are created, group identities are created, is because one individual has got ripple effects of a particular ideology and thinking and a particular energy that they emit, and they pass down to the other one, and that's how we are able to influence each other. And I'm not saying we should do that, but what I say is, if as soon as all of us we understand that we are all one mind, we'll be able to be brought to the center executive of who exactly we are. When they said know thyself, it has nothing absolutely to do with knowing yourself as an individual, but of course it had part of that. Now, one of the difficult things that we are beginning to understand is to understand how can the astral mind, the collective mind, and the individual mind be one altogether at once and also be multiplicity at the same time. That's pretty much what it was pre-Big Bang. The wave was in harmony with itself before it broke into multiplicity of personalities. And there's no way that when this wave broke up into multiple personalities of itself, of its different archetypes of itself, then it loses the DNA of the wave that was in singularity.